Alrighty, guys, we are back. It's EQ, and up next we have Meek Mill and Lil Durk respond to Gillie blaming DJ Akademiks for artists refusing to drop albums. Shout out to Chick Smooth for the video. Act does really hype up first week sales. He kind of makes it the end all be all when it comes to like judging a project. Like it's like really the only metric he kind of looks at. But I feel like a big part of this is that honestly record sales are down across the board. And there's a lot of artists, a lot of premier acts that have done some monster numbers, and a lot of them are afraid to drop because if they go and they have a lackluster first week, honestly, a lot of times that can really affect their price. It can affect what they charge for a feature. It can affect what they charge for a show, which is why you have Joe talking about the same situation when it comes to Cardi B, whose last project went diamond. Like, it's almost impossible to top something like that. And that being the reason why Cardi B is kind of scared to pull the trigger. It's not like she hasn't been recording. Obviously, there's music out there, but I feel like every time it's time to drop, maybe those records probably sound outdated. I have no doubts that Cardi B is working, obviously. We do see features come out every once in a while, but as far as a project by her, which I know Atlantic really wants to make happen because I don't think people really know how, like, really it's 2 or 3 artists that can float an entire label, which is why when one of these artists does poorly, like fam, there's huge layoffs. We just saw Ice Spice, who had every marketing dollar behind her, sell 20K units. Yeah, these are numbers that 10 years ago, if you were to pull out these numbers, bam, you'd be lucky to get a sophomore album. But yeah, enough dilly-dallying. Let's jump right into the video. Again, it's entitled Meek Mill and Lil Durk respond to Gillie blaming DJ Akademiks for artists refusing to drop albums.
In the wise words of Drake on the song Push Ups, drop, drop, drop. Now, I know sometimes Gillie loves making jokes, but other times he just has to read the room. This morning, Gillie took to Instagram to call out artists for not dropping enough music. With everything going on in the music industry.
And honestly, with this, I feel like you're going to get less drops because why would you put out something if you're a premier act? If there's no clear direction in the company, it's probably the worst time to think about dropping anything because, fam, they're going to be a lot more focused on other things versus making sure that your marketing is going right. There's a major shakeup in the industry. I know a lot of people are kind of directly tying this to like Diddy. While that may be the case for some, I feel like for a bunch, it's fam, I think their salaries can't be justified anymore. These people are making tons of money and fam, like right now, these companies are definitely going towards tech. Because a lot of their artists haven't been dropping, it's kind of been like forcing them to try other avenues of making money.
Right now, you got CEOs getting fired, CEOs stepping down. Lucian and Elliott control 35% of the music industry. A lot of artists do not have a release date, and a lot of artists don't even know where to stand with their label. So obviously now is
when these shakeups happen, a lot of times, like, dude, don't be surprised if a bunch of them get shelved or they get released because these aren't your peoples. When you're a new exec coming in, you more than likely want to put in your people, which is what usually happens. Not just in the music industry, when it comes to sports and honestly almost every other industry. When we see these type of shakeups, people go in there and they retool. But yeah, man, it's looking shaky for a lot of people, man. Especially if you haven't been hot in a minute. But I do see this as the perfect time if you're like an artist on a come up to take advantage of the fact that no one is dropping and maybe try to create some motion for yourself.
It's not the best time to drop music. But despite this huge change in the
But if you do, you're not going to get any of the marketing behind you until they see that this is a runaway success. Just best believe, if you get a hit, they're going to put all their money behind you.
Music industry going on right now. You guys want to know what Gillie thinks is the real reason why artists don't want to drop their albums? Gillie thinks it's because artists are scared of Akademiks posting their first week sales numbers. Yes, that's correct. According to Gillie, artists don't want to drop albums and they don't want to feed their families off of the revenue from those albums because Akademiks is going to tweet out their first week sales.
Yeah, but it's not just Act, it's Billboard, it's No Jumper, it's a ton of these platforms.
Numbers. Here's what Gillie said.
But Act definitely puts a lot of weight behind the numbers.
A lot of you scared to death to put y'all motherfucking music out because of first week sales. Because y'all worrying about Akademiks posting the motherfucking first week sales. Man, fuck them first week sales, man. Y'all gotta understand the reality of it is a lot of y'all got some good shit in them hard drives. But y'all worrying about what perception gonna be. Man, fuck them first week sales, man. Killer Mike, he won a motherfucking Grammy, man. Sold 29 motherfucking hundred this first week, man.
Yo, you know what?
sometimes albums are a slow burn. There's tons of albums that catch steam as time goes. So just because your first week numbers aren't looking the greatest or aren't what you would like think would be prime, somebody like Killer Mike who has a lot more substance in the music, I feel like the record could potentially get hotter as time goes on, especially after word of mouth gets around about how dope the project. And obviously, after he won the Grammy, I'm pretty sure the streams went crazy. But for a lot of these acts, with the way consumption is now of any entertainment, bam, give it a few weeks and that shit just dies out. A lot of these projects don't really keep that momentum after the first week. So, yeah, not every album is going to be like the Killer Mike project. And there's definitely artists that are scared of getting clowned for their first week numbers. Numbers aren't what they used to be. Not everything is going to have that slow burn momentum. A lot of these projects, once they have those type of numbers, some people won't even check them out. Killer Mike just has a pedigree.
What Nas sold like 60,000 his first week on Illmatic.
Right.
And that's a fucking classic. He's a legend.
Right.
Most of the classic albums, they didn't do it. It wasn't about just the first week sales. It's about putting that shit out, getting on the road and grinding.
Right.
Yeah, well, there's more substance to those projects. A lot of these projects that are dropping now might not have a long shelf life. So something like Illmatic, obviously, it's gone, dude, over 30 years old by this point. It's still bump crazy. Albums like Reasonable Doubt, that album didn't go crazy the first week. So yeah, there is projects that obviously, like I said, through word of mouth and critical acclaim, like, yeah, they can get hot. But most of these projects that are coming out aren't going to get that same type of treatment.
Motherfuckers gotta stop being too cool to reconnect with their fans.
Right.
If you got cold, you gotta have niggas around you to say, listen, man, you got cold. If this nigga get cold,
right.
I'm telling him. If I get cold, I'm like, Lo, you got cold.
Right.
So you get back and grind and reconnect with the people. A lot of you niggas think y'all too good for the people.
That's true. People are just relying on the internet when, like, fam, when you have an artist like Kanye who's literally taking it on the road, going to these markets that he hasn't been to in a very long time and showing face and kind of reigniting that fan base. I feel like this is the time now that, like, yeah, use the internet, obviously, fam, it connects the whole world, but go touch down with your fans. This is definitely the time to do that, especially right now when all it takes is a tweet or an IG story post to just let people know where you're going to be at or where you're going to be performing that day. If you really want to succeed in the music industry, you have to get yourself hot and you got to embrace the grassroots, like guerrilla marketing. You got to get out there, man. You can't just hope that the label is going to make you a superstar overnight, because that's not the case anymore. These people now just want you already hot, and then they'll put some extra money behind you, which obviously is going to make your platform bigger. But other than that, they're not interested in developing you anymore. Times are definitely changing.
Outsider scared to put music out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Put that motherfucking music out, man. If that shit hot is hot, man. Fuck them first week sales, man.
Yeah, man.
And nigga, put some motherfucking socks on your fucking walkers when you come in this motherfucker, though. When we just be walking
I
around.
want my feet to breathe.
Man, fuck you, just come all up in
Bare toed in that hotel room, fam.
here with your motherfucking walkers out like that.
Now, this is a little bit of gaslight in here from Gillie. Some artists are still definitely dropping albums. Mustard just dropped. Tekka just dropped. Future just dropped. Meek has been dropping singles for the last couple of months now. If you look around in the music industry, artists are now trying to find other ways to reinvent themselves and also not let their music go to waste. Every Friday, you got so many artists dropping music, and by the following Sunday, it's already forgotten. So right now, artists are just trying to find the best way to deliver music to their fans and make sure that it actually sticks with the fan.
And you do have a lot of artists like a Meek who is trying to go direct to consumer. Kanye going direct to consumer. But to do that, they have to build that platform now. It's like when you have the machine behind you, they have all the connections and you can kind of get comfortable when you have that. You're going to get put on a playlist. They're going to put you on a great press run so you can go and promote. This situation is going to like separate the people that really want it and are going to learn the ins and out of the business and just how to like put themselves out there versus the people that want somebody to hold their hand to the finish line, which I don't think is the most viable option. With how shaky the industry has been, it's no surprise that we see like artists and these rappers turn to streaming and turn to other forms of making money. I saw Schoolboy Q in an interview basically say how rappers today are basically just content creators, and I feel like that kind of goes for almost anything, like attorneys, truck drivers, fam. There's attorneys right now with booming businesses because they took to Instagram or they took to YouTube and they're speaking on true crime cases and breaking down stuff. And you'd be surprised how much business these people are drumming up that before had an empty client book and now their client book is full. It's just time that people kind of take control. We live in a day and age right now, this stuff is free. Like, We got to take advantage of the fact that right now we can drop a product and literally have it worldwide at the press of a button. So, yeah, man, times have changed and you don't want to be a dinosaur. You need to evolve and you need to be able to like pivot.
Now, Lil Durk hopped in the comments. He said, yo, fuck them numbers. Feed the streets. Meek Mill also commented saying, nah, not me. And then Slim Thug said, it's how labels trick rappers. If we all thought like, let me grow from a seed to a tree, we wouldn't need them.
Slow burn. Exactly. If you guys don't know, Slim Thug is a rapper who's definitely embraced the independent grind. It pays off for a lot of people, man. There's tons of independent artists with a grassroots approach, and they're super winning right now, especially because they're getting most of the cut.
Everybody want to come out on top. And we also got to keep in mind, this is not 2016, this is not 2017, this is not 2018. If your album comes out and your first week sales numbers are low, fans are not going to say you're falling off. I think right now fans have a good understanding.
I feel like the only time it actually negatively affects is when the artist is throwing out these numbers or shitting on somebody else for their numbers. Then that's where they get like called out for their numbers.
Understanding that most album sales are going to be low. If you're not the top 10 guys, you're probably going to do under 30K.
30,000.
There's so much changes in the music industry.
And Tekka got 35, it said first week. Tekka has had some hits. I know he's not the first person people run to when it's like, all right, like past the Ox or whatever, but the dude got some records and he's doing 35K. Ice Spice did what I believe 28K, which for her, with all the marketing and all the money they put behind her, I know they're in the red right now, which is why her career is shakier versus like somebody else. Like the amount of money that they put into her is a lot different than another person that sold similar numbers. The money they're putting into her, they expect superstardom, and 28K is not that. I think that's when like the low first week sales will affect you. Again, that's not to say that a single can't come out and literally blow up the album, but as of right now, we're not seeing that. You're flying private, you're getting put next to Taylor Swift, bam, you're gonna have to do more than 28K. They're gonna give her another opportunity or two because they really banked big on her. If that's the trend that keeps on going, then what you're gonna see, you're just gonna see less marketing going to them. And now it's up to the artist to make themselves hot, and then maybe you can get a budget from the label again.
There's also changes with how fans are consuming music. So I would think Gillie being in the music industry would at least have a good understanding of this. Joe Budden also recently spoke on the music industry shift on his podcast. Here's what Joe said.
I think that Kevin Lyle's stepping down or being removed or however, whatever happened, just speaks more to the music industry shakeup that's going on.
Exactly.
And the reshuffling of consumption and just all types of others. A lot of people stepping down, a lot of people getting fired.
It's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all of these staffs are supremely downsizing. Like, they're going tech, man. Universal bought an AI voice modeling company. Bam, it's going to get really ugly for most of these artists if you can't figure this out on your own. Obviously, when you get to that point, though, you're going to be able to have the machine, want to invest because they see the potential to make money. But the labels are going in another direction. If you guys can't see that, honestly, I feel bad for you guys. And it's not just the music. Like I said, it's most industry is going that way. Right now is the time they're cutting costs. And we're going to see it across the board. It's just the way things are moving. Right now, with this huge upheaval, people are going to make sure that the leadership is in the right position to guide these releases because, yeah, man, this is big money. I don't think people, like you said earlier, they don't want to waste their music. So you probably will see some of these people go into streaming. You see some of these people go gaming. I feel like now more than ever, we see artists kind of dipping their toes into other entrepreneurial endeavors because, and honestly, it's kind of always been this way. The artist has always had to look for other ways to make the serious cash. Jay-Z made most of his money outside of rap, but the rap gave him the platform to be able to get in these rooms, gave him the ability to get next to these people and learn the things he needed to learn to move up, and it goes for people like Nas. It goes for a lot of artists.
Y'all ain't about to get a whole lot of music from a whole lot of labels.
I think that's bad too, by the way.
If I'm Atlantic, if I'm any artist on Atlantic, I ain't putting shit out.
If these labels go and they start making money in other ways, do you think they're going to take some of the risks that they do with some of these artists? If they're not proven, if they don't got a hit? More than likely not. We'll see, because now they have something else to like cover some of those losses, but why bother,
That's how I fucked my career up at Def Jam. Taking that same stance. The only people that probably feel
not
comfortable dropping over there are people that have direct relationships with Elliot Grange.
Yeah, maybe true.
Yeah, you got the resources behind you then.
You're probably not getting your money approved, your budgets approved, your release date approved, your artwork approved.
Yeah, but
it's probably going to look like a real nasty, a real light-hearted.
I would take that as and take initiative to make me want to. Hey, look, if y'all big dogs don't want to drop, let me get on y'all radar. Y'all want something to drop.
We'll sort it out. That's Atlantic. That's Warner. Shit, I might feel like that on Universal right now too. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's bad.
You can't feel good if you're a musician out there.
It's bad. It's bad.
It's only 6 of y'all maybe that feel good.
So listen, you guys, I'm gonna give Gillie the benefit of doubt. Maybe he's just trying to gaslight and also bait rappers into dropping more music and albums. I'm really gonna hope Gillie doesn't actually think the reason why is because artists don't want Akademiks tweeting out their first week sales numbers if it's low. You guys get in the comments below. What do you guys think about what Gillie said? Do you guys think he has a point or not? Post your comments below. Subscribe to my channel, like this video. I'll see you guys later, man.
Obviously, there's a few artists that Ak has smoked with that, yeah, don't want Ak to read their first week numbers. For the other acts, I don't really feel like that's even on their mind. I feel like it's more towards the direction of like, all right, our previous album did so well, and if we go now and we have a decrease, what's that going to do to our bottom line, our price, what we charge? It's going to go down. That's why we have somebody like Cardi that's like obviously scared to drop. As far as other artists, the reason might be the fact that there is these huge shakeups. Like, if there's no direct leadership, like Joe said, like, are you going to get the budget that you're asking for? More than likely not. It does lend, like I said earlier, to somebody that's willing to do it on their own and get something moving, because then I'm pretty sure the label will get behind that. They're in the business of making money, and they make money right now through music. But with the way the industry has been moving, you just had Universal buying an AI voice modeling company. You had Warner, like a few years ago, buying a meme company. These people are looking into other ways of making money because a lot of the artists are doing the same, which they've always have. But now these artists have way more opportunity, especially because the internet is around. They can go on IG and sell a product. They can go on YouTube and stream. People are making a killing. You have people like T Grizzly making 30, 40K a month playing Grand Theft Auto just off Twitch, not including sponsorships. He drops music because he wants to drop music. It's for the passion, which I think does lend for better music, but you're not going to get the drops as frequently because they're making money in other ways. So yeah, man, it's definitely a shaky time. I feel like the biggest reason is definitely, bam, these record companies are downsizing. Why pay this guy, dude, $500,000 a year when we're not generating what we used to generate? Time will tell. Time will tell. Definitely let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think Akademiks is the reason why people aren't dropping albums, or do you just think they're scared, period? Because like I said, if their numbers do drop considerably from their last project and that trend actually continues, their price is going to go down as well. And that goes not just for shows, but that goes for getting booked for acting jobs, modeling gigs, endorsements. Your price is higher when you're hotter, and I feel like that should go without being said. But yeah, but definitely let me know what you guys think about that. What do you guys think about Gillie's take? Definitely hit the like and subscribe button, guys. It does the channel wonders. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are freaking amazing. The channel is doing super dope. I've been thinking about jumping into like streaming. It's still a ways to go for that, but I just wanted to float that around. Also, I was thinking about doing some type of like a weekly news show / podcast. But yeah, definitely let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in. Hope you guys love the video. I hope to see you guys soon.